Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be setting up my updated budget categories breakdown. I did do a video about this a few months ago, I feel like maybe 3-4 months ago, but the last time I wrote it down was in the Budget by Paycheck workbook, which I no longer have because I did decide to give it away to a friend. I didn't want to just rip off the page because it would rip off an important section of the planner, so that's why I'm just going to go ahead and just do it over here in the back of my passion planner. I have my highlighters over here. I actually have quite a few of them, the zebra Mildliner highlighters as well as the passion planner highlighters. I have all my categories all written down here just so I don't forget anything. I did a little bit of a brain dump. I am going to be using one of my favorite pens. This one is the zebra Sarasa, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it's in a 0.4. I'm actually running out, so if it looks a little light, it's because it's kind of drying out. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the income over here. Hopefully you guys can see okay. The camera is zoomed in as much as it could be zoomed in, so hopefully you guys can see. So I'm gonna start off with the income. And previously in the other one, I had my affiliate income coming into this budget category, but since I do have a business checking account now, that is going to be going over to my business budget. So for our income for our family, it's going to be paychecks, which is my husband's paychecks. And then when I decide to pay myself from my business, that will be going in here. I don't see me paying myself out from my business at all this year because I do want to make sure I save up for taxes and any other obligations I might have. I'm hoping though that next year I'll be able to pay myself out because that's the goal. So for income, I have, I hope I spelled this right. So for income, I have paychecks, gifts, refunds, and our stimulus payments that we've been getting. Not sure if you've heard, but the third round is coming up pretty quickly. Next to income, I'm gonna write in some of the seasonal things that we usually will have, and these are part of our savings buckets, and they are Christmas, travel, and I did add school. I removed clothing from here because I think last time I had clothing, but clothing is going to be just tied under our own personal allowances. You guys will see in a bit. And then I'm just going to start down here for fixed / regular expenses. I do have some annual subscriptions that I'm going to be putting on here, but for the most part, these are all of our fixed income, or not fixed income. These are all of our fixed bills. Number one would be rent, and that's all that's in that category. And then two would be debt. We originally had personal loans on here, credit cards and student loans, and I'm just going to write credit card and student loans on there. And then for insurance, our car, vehicle insurance, and life insurance. And then for utilities, this is where I removed some of the subscriptions we had because I was counting Netflix or Disney Plus along with that. So for utilities, I have PayRange, which is an app that I deposit a certain amount every 2 weeks or every time we get paid to use for our laundry that we have downstairs. And then cell phone is on here, and then electricity. And then number 5 is our subscriptions. So we did decide to add on a Netflix account, and I didn't realize how much it was. The very first time we've ever had Netflix a long time ago, years ago, was $7.99, and now it's at $17.99 for the highest amount that they have on there. So we have Netflix, we have Disney Plus with that Hulu ESPN bundle. So Hulu, I'm just gonna put Hulu, ESPN. They did increase it by $1, which I'm totally fine with. $12.99, or now it's gonna be $13.99, but we have ESPN and Hulu on there. I'm totally fine with that. We don't have regular cable or TV or anything like that. We just stream. So, and I'm gonna put, so annually under subscriptions, I'm gonna put on here. We have Sam's Club, Amazon Prime, and then our AAA membership. I mentioned before that this used to be free for me because I used to work for them, but I just decided to keep it because I do like to use the DMV services over there versus going to the actual DMVs, so that's why I want to keep it, aside from the roadside services, of course. And then number 6, so medical and dental. This one I decided to add because we've been having so much medical and dental expenses, especially in the last 2 years. So I'm just going to add that on here. So copays, so PCPs, gyno, my husband sometimes sees an orthopedic doctor for his foot, pediatrician, dentist, of course. And these are all for like any procedures that we have, and emergency visits, because those are not covered by our insurance. So these, I actually do have a savings bucket for medical and dental in case any of these come up. Sorry, my son is pounding at my door. Big bro is supposed to be keeping an eye on the little ones, so we'll see how it goes. Number 7 would be savings, and this is for emergency fund and any of the savings buckets that we have for things that will come up, like travel, Christmas, like all the seasonal stuff that's going to be on here. I totally spelled savings wrong. So we have whiteout, savings, and then number 8, this we have not started yet, but we will soon, is investments in our Roth, like an extra retirement fund, and then college fund is going to go on here. So I'm going to move on and just write down variable spending down here. These are just the day-to-day type of spending. There are some things on here that we don't always buy necessarily, but it's been popping up lately for us, so I decided to make a category for them, like a separate one. So I left off at 8. So number 9, I have food. So the first, I want to say first 8 is going to be all the regular stuff we have in every budget. So food is groceries. I do combine it with takeout and restaurants. We haven't eaten inside of a restaurant, which I'm okay with, but when we do, that's where it goes under, unless it's some kind of event or something that we're celebrating. And then transportation, this one we do have a couple of annual things on here, like vehicle registrations, and for the most part for transportation it's gas, parking fees. Usually this is when we're at the beach. I try to make sure I keep change in there so I don't have to put my card. Thankfully though, the parking meters do accept card. Smog checks. I do have a savings bucket for transportation for some of the other things that pop up. Car washes. Any accessories. I'm going to put accessories on here. Like cleaning supplies. And then the yearly or annual vehicle registrations, the Scion, and then for my Caliber, just those 2. And then I think that's it for that. I totally started writing it down this way versus this way. Oh well. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so household, this is one of the things that we changed up a little bit. So I have cleaning supplies on here, toiletries, like shampoos, toothpaste, and stuff for the family. Toilet paper. Did I spell that right? Yeah. Toiletries. Organizational things. And these I don't buy all at once because it can get pretty pricey, but the Dollar Tree has pretty awesome organization bins and stuff, so that totally helps. Batteries. And I think that's it. Number 12 is the kiddos. And under them we have school things. So school clothes. This is why we don't have a separate clothing budget. It's because we don't always shop for clothes. And my kids are pretty lucky. Like when it's around Christmas time and birthdays, when people ask us what they need, we say clothes. So they're pretty blessed there. So toys, if we decide to get them toys, books for them. School things, all the school supplies will be on there like for throughout the year. I do, however, have that seasonal category here. I would say when we have to buy before like school starts, like if they need a new backpack, lunch boxes, usually we'll reuse them until they get all gross or if they lose them or something. And also with the seasonal school budget, school supplies like ink, since we're printing out right now for the kiddos, it can get pretty pricey. So that's one of the reasons why I also decided to make a school savings fund. So when I do need to buy ink and all that kind of pricier things, I have money saved up to be able to pay for that. Okay, so number 13 is my husband, and this is just personal spending. He actually has a savings account now for whatever doesn't get spent in his personal allowance during a regular budget. It gets transferred into savings account because he did tell me he was trying to save for something. So that's what we're doing with that. So personal, anything like clothes on here as well. He mostly spends it on food while he's at work on takeout. Myself is also personal spending, and I will add on here like clothing. I should have put that over here with my husband as well. So clothing, like planner things, I only really use one planner, the Passion Planner, so I don't really buy too much. And also when I do reviews for budget planners, I put that under my personal allowance. I'm not sure if I'm going to use my business checking account for that just yet, but for now I'm saving up my own personal allowance to pay for that. And then number 15 is fun and events. This one is all of like literally all the events. We have a big family and things always pop up. Birthdays, graduations, baby showers, weddings. There's always something. Graduations, weddings. I'm just gonna stop there because there's a lot that happens. And also like family fun stuff. I usually put like when we get donuts and stuff and ice cream, I usually will put it on here. Family fun, holidays, like activities. The next one coming up would be Easter. I don't make the kids Easter baskets or anything, but I do love to do the Easter egg hunts and scavenger hunts with the boys. That's gonna go on there. And then number 16, miscellaneous. This one now is meant to be more of a cushion, and anything that I've noticed that I've been putting into miscellaneous that could be a separate category on its own. I've kind of realized that as I've been tracking spending last year. Then you guys will see those two categories in a second. So for right now, miscellaneous will serve as a cushion, or if it doesn't fit, so it doesn't fit other categories, or maybe I'll put unexpected on here as well. And then number 17, this one is new. It's health and wellness. It's not going to be included in our budget all the time, just when I just have to be better at planning it out. So it's for vitamins for the boys and for me and my husband, medicines, lady stuff, all of that kind of things that tend to pop up. I've noticed in that I started putting in miscellaneous, and the whole point of creating these budget categories is so that at the end of the year, or when I'm looking at it at the end of the month, I can see specifically where am I spending our money. For example, if we would keep all of our health and wellness items into miscellaneous because it doesn't necessarily fit somewhere else, I would just look at it as miscellaneous spending. The goal for miscellaneous for me is to really have nothing in there unless it's really truly unexpected. Everything else should have a budget category because for me personally, I want to know where I'm spending my money when I'm reviewing our end of the month budget. Hopefully that makes sense. I did add tech stuff as well. So these would be for devices. We don't buy this all the time, but we did just buy 2 tablets. One for my son to replace his school one because it's just been a hot mess. So we decided to get him a tablet that was on sale. And then we got our little one as well because it was on sale, and we did get credit through Sam's Club. So not a credit card, but we had cash rewards. We had like $90 in cash rewards that we were able to use. That's what we recently used it for. So devices, TV, we're not going to buy TV anytime soon, but I'm just writing down all the things that could pop up. Headphones we bought in the past, the cases, tech accessories pretty much. Probably going to be starting a tech fund just in case, but for right now it's just when it comes up and when we can plan for it accordingly. It's going to be a budget category just so, like I said, I want to be able to see when I'm reviewing our spending for the year or for the month, I want to see where our money is going specifically. I think that's pretty much it. Looks like I have a ton of categories on here, so I know it looks crazy. Yours might not look like mine, or you might not even have as much as I do, but this is what's kind of making sense for me and our family. So 18 total. And again, these 2 won't probably be part of our budget all the time, just once in a while. And now what I'm going to do is highlight all of these because, as you guys know, when I'm tracking my spending, I do like to highlight all my categories because it helps me to visually see where specifically we are spending our money. And for the most part, yes, I do have all of our budget categories memorized color-wise. I did have to add a few things because I had to figure out what colors to use because I have so many. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight all of these. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Hopefully it was helpful to you guys as far as giving you ideas on budget categories you can use. Hopefully it wasn't too overwhelming with all the budget categories that I have. My suggestion is, if you are looking to figure out what budget categories works for you, is to track your spending. I feel like tracking your spending not only gives you more clarity on where your money is going, but I also think that it'll help you figure out what expenses tend to pop up more than others. So hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you so much as always for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.